So I have to roll anything. I have to. Brandon, you're gonna have to go into my character.
Okay, I gotcha.
I should probably put roll 22 up.
Are you gonna be on Discord on your phone, Eric?
That's what I am right now.
Okay. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Eric, I just want you to know I love you, and I'm glad you're here tonight, and I hope things smooth out in the next couple days. You sound so drained right now.
It's been a bit.
And I mean, I just remember working kitchen staff with you, and those nights. They exist. Okay, anyways, we will be getting started. Now we're Ronies. Alright, welcome to the Ilderon Tales. Let's go with this. Yes. Alright, welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is, Book 3, Season 1, Episode 1 of the Gladiators. We are going to have a great time tonight. Tonight we are playing Dungeons. There's no dragons, they're just playing Dungeons. No, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. It is a role-playing game. Everything you are going to see tonight is live storytelling. Yeah, who knows where the roles are going to fall. Anything can happen. If you're under the age of 14 and you're watching, please consult your parents because you're probably going to see content that's not appropriate for you. And finally, if you are a big fan of D&D, we are playing in a homebrewed setting. It is the world of Ilderon. It is a setting of our creation. Ilderon is this really, really cool place, and I'd say the coolest draw point of Ilderon is that it takes that assumption of D&D worlds where the gods are looking over are watching over the world, and it amplifies it. Not only are the gods watching over Ilderon, they live inside of Ilderon. The gods roam the material plane, and some of them even live in cities with their followers around the world. The gods in Ilderon are something that's very, very real, and something that you can, in some places, go down the street and talk to. And from there, let's do player introductions.
Wait. I still have to shower.
You know,
I just came here.
I was just talking about you right before this. I could not decide if I was going to kick you or message you, just it's the first session. And I honestly could not land in at any point. So...
Jeez.
Well, it is the first session of the night, so I didn't want to start off the year with... or rather, I didn't want to start off the game with having to message you every single night that the session was happening.
Oh, no. We had late dinner. We had lasagna.
Okay, so are you going to be able to make the sessions in the future?
Yeah.
Okay, I will go back on my dickiness, and I will add you back to this group.
I forgot I had sent your time to someone's different. My bad.
Yeah, because you asked me this morning if we were playing, and I was like, this guy. He asked me at 6 a.m. if we're playing, and I said yes, and then, Anyways, literally right on time. We are going to do player introductions. When we get to you, Nyan, I'm going to need extra information from you about your character. And like I just said, this is live storytelling. We're going to workshop it on the fly because I literally, again, know nothing about your character. So, let's go with the top of the group and have us. You can introduce yourself by the name you want to be called if I'm not referring to your character. You can give a sentence about yourself and a sentence about your character you're playing.
Okay. Hey there, I'm Ost. I've been playing D&D since I was 10, back when AD&D was still a thing. I'm here to just kind of have fun, and this is a cuss friendly or not friend or
Yeah, you can
okay.
you can curse
So-
if you
okay.
want. Just don't go crazy.
Yeah, so apologies in advance for if I've someone that doesn't like the cursing, but other than that, I'm playing Regis Haltfen. He's a little ball of fury.
All right, and Jordan.
Hi, Jordan. I've played in Brandon's campaigns as Brock Brooks, Johan, and Halzik in past campaigns. This time I'm going to be playing as Elizabeth XB, and who's probably my least sexually charged character out of all my previous ones.
Let's see, and then we have Wesley.
Hey, how you doing? My name's Wesley. Playing D&D for about 12 years. Been in Ilderon since I think it started. I'm going to be playing Zeeth Shade Touch, a dislocated drow youngster, fresh out of the Alien?
Yeah, Alyan. Yeah.
Into a bright new world that he doesn't know anything about.
Okay. And then we have Chris.
How's it going? I'm Chris. I've been playing D&D for about going on 6-ish years. I'll be playing Maliz Aman. He's a Goliath barbarian who unfortunately had his family taken over by a fire giant.
Okay. Then we have Eric returning.
So, my name's Eric. I've been playing D&D for a while. I've played it with Brandon and for 2 characters. My new character woke up in a gladiatorial arena not knowing who he is or really anything about him other than he's a half-orc.
Okay.
Stay
You cut out on the last couple words, but I mean, we pretty much got the picture. And we have Blizz.
I am Tumbutu, and I am a goblin that was kicked out of my clan for drinking all the booze. And I was promised in the Gladiator Arena that I'd have as much booze as I want. And then that fell through, and he just kind of stuck to being a gladiator, because he's like, well, I'm already good at it, might as well make a career of it.
Alright, and I will be playing the Dungeon Master, so I'm literally everybody else. For the... Work with memory loss, he's Yolmar. For everybody else, Blizz, please put your character's name on your sheet on Roll20 so we can all pronounce and spell out your character's name.
Yep.
Additionally, before we start, I need to ask you to spell your character's name for me. Blizz.
Oh, Tombutu.
Tonmu.
I changed it already on my Discord, if you can see it.
I cannot. Can you update it on Roll20?
How about now?
Okay. I can see it on Discord, but again, can you update it on Roll20?
For some reason I can't log into my Roll20 account. I've never had this problem before.
Okay, well, work on it, and we will we'll come back to you, but I'm going to be introducing the group and the setting. All right. So, for tonight, we are gathered in the port of Rion. And all right, so the prompt for this group and the storyline. Welcome to the world of Ilderon. Again, everybody, thank you for showing up to play tonight. You are playing in the group known as the Gladiators. From the shores of Riofir, dotted through the islands of the Tide Gate, and up to the forests of Alyan, are some of the world's most respected and fabled arenas. Adventurers and guilds from all over the world travel up and down what has been named the Path of Glory. The entertainers and aspirants fight in the ports of Riofir for the entertainment of the eternal elves, while more seasoned contenders fight for the honor of defeating the ancient warriors of Alyan. Some may stray along the way, but those who make their way to the end write their name in history with the songs of victory. So, as you are all aware, our story tonight is going to begin in the port city of Riofir. It is this city right here, off the coast of the continent of Girion. Riofir is kind of like the entry city to explore this continent. However, only elves are allowed to go past the town limits of Riofir onto Rion. Rion is this wild, expansive jungle continent, and it is where the high elves of Ilderon have retreated from society and have decided to live. They only open their doors for the rest of the continent to other elves. However, the port of Riofir is where they interact with the rest of the world, and people from all over the world come to this port to trade with them, gain knowledge, to try and entertain them, to gain gold or wealth. Because, as you know, in Ilderon, elves are ageless. They don't ever die of old age. They age with how they're feeling. So as long as they mentally keep themselves together, an elf can live for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. There are some elves that live in the world that people are aware of that have existed since history has been started being recorded. So with that, this just becomes a very attractive location to come and interact with like their society and their culture, and try and just gain favor from the different eternal elven circles that have existed within Ilderon. That said, we'll move over to Riofir for tonight, and I kind of have a little inspiration pictures of just kind of how to imagine this place, and then I've got a map of the city for us, and we are really just finding this group as we go. So Riofir is the port on the northern part of the continent, and the coming into the city, the low side of the city, there's the stone docks that many different ships harbor, or rather many different ships dock at, and unload their goods to trade. There are a wealth of merchants around the stone docks that are set up to sell their wares. And there is a festival row that leads all the way down from the stone docks through the city. Looming over the city, you can see the high-rising jungle and the higher heights of the rest of the continent. Mountains and hills in the background over Riofir. That said, majority of the city is integrated with the woods and forests around it, although there are huge amounts of bustling life. So if you look over to the right of the page, that's kind of what a normal waterway inside of the city, or like a structure, would kind of look like. These ancient stone arches that have been, constructed going throughout this landscape. All right. So let's see where we're going to start our story tonight. I think the best place to start the story is in the stone docks, and I'm going to send this map to you guys real quick so you can have a better, larger picture of it than what's on here. Alright, and if you want to check your channel, it will be in there in a second. Because I didn't realize how big the city was and how small that's going to look on the screen. Okay, so there are the stone docks, the ferry docks, Rye Row, and the Festival Row. So let's start at the stone docks. And we'll say there was a transport vessel that booked fare from an island just north of Rion. This island had a small couple of fighting pits in it. Each of you, and some of you would already be here in Rio Fear, and we'll handle who's here and who's not here in a second. But some of you would have did really well inside of the fighting pits on this island, and a couple people would have pointed you towards the path of glory and saying, if you start in the south and you work your way north and you get a commendation from every arena, once you get to Mentori, if you can beat one of the Shadow Knights that have been there, you could ask a favor of the elves. You could write your name in history. The forever people of Ilderon would forever know your name. It's just how impressive you are of your martial skills and prowess, and that kind of pushed you to start this. You might not have a guild, you might not know anybody, but you just know this is where your path starts. And so you've booked transport on a vessel that's been drifting lazily through the soft waves as you've approached the shoreline, and it's pulled into dock in Rio Fear. And I have reminded myself of something I want to play. Alright, so you are going to pull into the docks of Rio Fear, the stone docks on the lower section of town. The captain is going to start tying up the ship, and this is a small vessel with probably about 10 people on it at maximum. The captain's going to start tying up the ship on the stone docks. And how about we roll a d8, and we'll see who's stepping off the ship. Alright, 2. Jordan, describe your character for us as she steps off these planks onto the stone docks.
Alright. Elizabeth has her hood up. She is walking off these docks with a blank stare, sort of as if it's common sense for her to be here, sort of like a self-important. I already know that I should be here. getting off this boat and now just like slowly looking around for where she should go to sign up for the arena.
Okay. And following right behind XV, let's roll one more D8, and we'll re-roll 1 and 8. Os, go ahead and give us a description of your character.
At first glance, you would think that it was a small, shaggy child who was walking off the boat with an unusually large hammer, not quite dragging behind him, but on his person at the least.
All right, and as you are walking off the boat, this woman that has been silently riding on the boat path or on the boat with you has stopped and is like looking around, like literally just got off the gangplank or plank. Yeah, I think that's what that's called.
Gangplank, yeah.
Yeah, and is just standing there like looking around, impeding your path.
Hey, bitch, move it!
Elizabeth turns around, looks down at the being with the gigantic hammer, just nods and goes like, mm-hmm, and then starts walking a little ways away to give people behind her room to move.
Okay. As he starts walking by you, the next person getting off the ship is going to be getting out of their seat and moving down the gangplank. Seeing this happen, Chris, go ahead and describe your character to us.
Meliz, he's a rather short Goliath, but he's very, very muscular, as if he's been in fights for quite a long time. He walks down and kind of looks at this short halfling, or at this short childlike person with a hammer. Would look at him and say, "People you don't know, move."
I will shove this so far up where the sun don't shine. You don't tell me what the fuck to do. And he just keeps walking.
All right. And following, getting off the ship too is going to be Brewbark. And Eric, go ahead and describe your character to us.
So, my character is mostly confused and kind of surprised, but no hair, and is a relatively attractive light green, yellowish, and half-orc.
Okay. And you are stepping onto these docks too.
I will look around and kind of be surprised by this abrupt confrontation, and just kind of shrug it off as it doesn't really affect me at this moment.
Okay. All right. And finally, we have Wesley. Oh no, we have two more characters. Okay, Wesley. Your character is actually on the docks already. You have a 10 setup and have been positioned here for a half hour or so. Go ahead and describe your character, and as the party's like walking by you.
Well, he's set up there. He's got a ramshackle tent that it's been roughly sewn together from different potato sacks. he is bundled up against kind of the moist breeze coming off. He's got half a fish inside of, and he's got this long kind of gnarled wooden stick across his lap, and a tin cup, banged up tin cup, sitting in front of him. He's mostly bundled up. You can't really see. You see a little bit of his features. He has somewhat of a youthful appearance, but he's got this red bandage across his eyes. A few wisps of white hair. The features that he has exposed are a little bit on the feminine side, as you might expect for an elf.
Okay.
But he kind of taps his staff every now and then when he feels people walk by, and might bump this cup every so often, rattle a few coppers that are in there, just in case anyone's got a copper. Pour bigger.
All right. And does he say anything to the people walking towards him?
Well, he's heard, and he's like, ugh. So he's just going to listen and wait for the salty this set of salty passengers to walk. Doesn't bother them since they're already yelling at each other.
Okay. And finally, we have Blizz's character, Tumbatu, walking off the docks.
So what you see is I'm in like these they're dirty. You can see vomit stains all over the front. It looks all nasty. And he called out, "Hey guys, wait up! I'm your friend too." And I tumble off the docks when I'm going and into the water.
Okay. And as you're fishing yourself out, there's going to be a man. He's sitting on a set of crates, probably on the other side of Zeeth's crates, the ones that Wesley's characters are sitting on. And he's
a what sitting?
A man. A man is sitting on the crates. And he is...
I blew my nose and I couldn't quite hear you. Sorry.
That's fine. And he is watching each of you get off the boat and start walking towards into the city. And he's going to call out and say, "Hail! I see the gleam of glory in your eyes. Each one of you has it. You didn't come to these ports for trading, did you?"
Glory?
And
I don't know about you. I just like to get drunk.
And it's worth stating that those of you that come and talk to this man, you're not the only ones that come and talk. So there's about 10 of you on this ship. 3 more people are going to come and kind of crowd around him. And
I go
ahead.
What the fuck would I want glory? I just want to beat the shit out of somebody.
He's going to laugh and say, "Well, you can find that right down Rye Row, or as we like to call it, Meat Row. I'm sure you've heard about the fabled arena of Rio Fear."
No.
At that moment is when Elizabeth turns around. He didn't have her attention before mentioning the arena.
He is going to nod and say, "Well, this isn't just blood sport that's happening here in these ports. It's entertainment, the highest forms of art. One of that with life and blade." People crowding around him are going to start murmuring, and he's going to say, "Yeah, you can find any fighting pit around the world, but if you want entry into the arena here, it's gonna cost you 1,000 gold entry." one of the men who are on the ship's going to say, "Yeah, you're shitting us." He's going to say, "No, I'm not. I'm actually here to sponsor one of you lucky meat sacks who might fight your way to glory." Yeah, he pulls out 1,000 gold and says, "I'll take the first 3 contestants that sign up. The 3 people who walk there are going to shove you guys out of the way."
Everyone here.
Elizabeth steps up.
You know what? This is how we'll do this. Go ahead and roll me. Go ahead and roll me a contested athletics check as these people move to shove each Elizabeth and Regis out of the way.
Will you roll one for me, please?
Okay. And Brewbark is going to shove back. I will roll one for Brewbark. And so for those of you who are, yes, it's it's a strength check. All right. And you can also contest it with acrobatics if you so choose. Moving out of the way.
That probably would have been better.
I will let you choose, Jordan, but if either way, I'll make you re-roll. If you choose to stay with athletics, you're re-rolling, and if you choose to switch, you're re-rolling.
Let's see.
Okay. Oh, I just wanted to state.
Or you know what? I think it's more fair if I take the same roll and let you choose which modifier to use.
Okay.
So
halfling is considered a small creature, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have halfling nimbleness, which lets me move through the space of any creature that is a size larger than me. So
yes, that is a thing, but they are physically moving you out of the way. They are making a shove attempt at you. And you can contest shove attempts with either standing your ground with an athletics check or an acrobatics check to move out of the way.
So, Brandon, I was kind of wanting to, and this is going to be up to you, but I was kind of wanting to, if I can't push my way through, just summon my tentacle and have it move people out of the way for me.
Okay, so this check, regardless, is contested of something they did it on you. Depending on how it results, I will let you do that.
All right. And you say you're gonna have me keep my original roll and just add my appropriate modifier rather than re-rolling?
Yes.
All right.
So
originally it was a 12. 12 plus 2 with acrobatics would be a 14.
Okay. And I'm just waiting for that roll. I have the roll for Brewbark, which rolled a 14, and I'm waiting for that roll for Regis. Yes.
How? I've never really used the roll 20 dice thing. How do I do the athletics check?
Go ahead and open up your character sheet, and then scroll down to your skills where you see athletics, and click the name athletics where it lights up red, and it will send it to the chat. Alright. Okay, so with everybody's rolls, you guys are going to beat these scrubs who rolled a 3, a 3, and a 4. So these guys are going to shove forward and it's like, I'll sign up, and you guys are just going to one pushes you, and and Regis is go ahead.
I'm actually pushing them as I make my way through up to the guy.
Elizabeth is just sidestepping all of them, going through the crowd with ease towards the front.
Okay. And real quick, I'm gonna let you guys know. Somebody just messaged me and said my mic sounds loud and scratchy. So I'm going to turn down my I'm gonna turn down the levels of the microphone to see if that helps any. If I become unhearable, you guys can't hear me or something, just turn me up on Discord.
Do you have a headset, or are you using like speakers and a mic?
I'm using a Blue Yeti microphone, so I just turned my input down. All right, so yes, Regis is going to shove back. XV is going to avoid being pushed by these, just moving her shoulder out of the way, and this guy's stumbling forward. And the last woman who pushes against Brewbark is just, not even going to be fazed by this. As you three step forward. The man is going to say, very well then. Why don't you three follow me? Wesley.
Sure.
Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You remember, because your character's been here for a couple days now, right? And it's you're not very clear how the outside world works because, you were forced into the camps and everything. So your character, remembers, didn't this guy just recruit some fighters yesterday?
He's good.
And
okay.
That's what you get from that check.
Okay. He's gonna think about it for a second. He's gonna speak up. He's like, "Hey, what about the other three that you recruited yesterday? What happened to them?"
This man is going to look back at you, and he's going to say, occupational hazard of being a gladiator, Sometimes you die in the arena. One of the women who's shoving to get ahead is going to say, the fights in Rio Fear are to the death? I thought it was for entertainment. The man is going to say, most of the time they're not to the death, but yeah, they caught the bad end of an axe. Anyways, I need new fighters. Come along with me. No further questions.
I walk up to him. I grab him by the shirt, pull him down. I'm like, you better not be fucking with us. And I make an intimidation check.
Alright. XV, you are,
Yes.
You've lived around liars and cheats your entire life. You are going to pick up that this guy is, there's definitely a dishonest streak in him.
Alright, then while who was it that grabbed him by the scruff?
Regis.
Regis?
Yes.
While Regis has him by the scruff, I'm going to contemplate taking that bag of coins he was showing off.
I also
Not actually doing it yet, but I am contemplating it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I also got a 22 on the intimidation check.
yeah, I did see that. No, we are, you did not have advantage on that check.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes. So if you see at the top of your sheet, you have the option to roll with advantage. So since you don't have advantage, I'm taking your first roll, which would be the 18. If I ever tell you have advantage on a check, then I will, tell you to roll twice.
He has to toggle in his settings for that. He'll automatically roll advantage unless he changes it.
All right. He is. He's rightly terrified. He's going to pull his collar away and say, well, I will just take me and my gold elsewhere, and I'll go find other willing contenders. Good luck trying to pay your entry fee into the arena.
At that, I want to use Mage Hand and attempt to get the bag of gold off his belt as he rushes off.
Okay, go ahead. Mage Hand still requires you to control it. Give me an Arcana check of directing and grabbing this.
Arcana check. No idea what that was. 14.
All right. Yeah, you are going to move the Mage Hand to this bag as he turns and starts leaving. And he is going to see it lifted off of him because, obviously Mage Hand has a somatic and verbal component that he hears. And I think the Mage Hand is visible if you're not like an arcane trickster. So he's going to see this like bag lifted off him and see you pulling it towards you. And he's his eyes are going to go a little wide, and then he's just going to take off in a sprint down Festival Row. The bag comes towards you. Inside of the bag, if you look in it, are a bunch of metal doodads, ball bearings, spoons, a couple copper coins, a couple silver coins. It is filled to the brim, but it is in no way worth 1,000 gold.
I will take this bag of doodads then, and chuck it into the water.
All right.
Everyone's liars and cheats.
Zeeth is going to tap his wooden stick against the pier like that. Didn't sound like to me.
XP just turns and goes, it wasn't.
Shame.
The two men and the woman who volunteered are going to look at you guys and say, how do you plan on getting sponsors to get in the arena?
XP just shrugs.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, we prove our worth.
I'll just punch people in the face.
Only if you can do it with some finesse. This is entertainment, not just a fighting pit.
The woman is going to say, "Well, maybe we can find labor at the docks on the that we saw on the western coast." The two men are going to nod as they go walking off. She stops and turns back towards you and says, "Well, may your path start well."
Elizabeth just turns around and starts heading in the direction of the re-row.
Okay.
Row. Just that's where the arena is supposed to be.
All right. And I'm assuming everybody else is going to head off towards the arena?
I'm keeping my eye out for more booze along the way.
Okay. All right. As you guys are walking down this row, it is lined with living things. There are all types of exotic animals. Each one is either on display or performing with different colorful birds flying around. Avarians. I actually don't know the term for a person who keeps multiple types of birds. And there would be like different exotic animals of jungle cats and lions. None of which of these things are caged or on any sort of leash. Some of them are sitting in front of storefronts. Some of them are being traded for and just waiting patiently. Even though with like the abundance of like life and people here, there seems to just be like a calmness to nature and the wildlife here. As you guys continue to walk down this road, though, eventually it is going to open up, and you are going to see this moss covered cobblestone town square, and in the center of this town square, or in the center of this square, this main attraction, this huge Colosseum-like building of ancient arches and everything, just towering out of the middle of this area. There are people walking in and towards it, and there is the sound of crowds coming from it. If you were looking for the Rio Fear Arena, you have found it. And there was one last thing I needed to look at.
I'll just say that, I mean, the sheriff has come in for the day. He's pack up his, and you know he's gonna a small distance head towards the Coliseum where he might have get coppers for dinner.
Several people on either soapboxes, stone daises, or storefronts, all are in front of carts, all lined up shouting and trying to get people's attention. One of which you guys are able to find. There is a fellow, and he is going to be singing a song and say, "Come one, come all, come hear my song, come sing along," and to the end. He's just gonna go on and on and on and on, calling out like each person he sees, like just each person passing by. He just adds a verse to this and says, "Hey, you with the fair jaw, your mother had quite a few flaws, and it seems she gave you every one of them." Just antagonizing literally anybody he can. You guys, like, as you pass by him, you see there's like a man sitting down who's like kind of holding his head, and he's like, he's bloodied as he's been in a little scuffle. A couple people are standing around him as he's antagonizing more of the crowd, and he's going to, I'm going to roll a d2. He's going to look at Brewbark. And Eric, give me like a little bit more in-depth visual description of your character. If you're talking, Eric, we cannot hear you. Rip, Eric's dead.
Rip.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Alright, so I don't know if you saw my roll for my appearance.
18. I'm letting you guys pick your appearance this time around.
Okay, because I rolled a 1, which would make him so ugly people puke when they see him.
Oh, no, I just saw on the live feed where you say if I roll an 18 plus, I want him to find out he has a twin. You can pick your appearance this time around.
No, I'm 18. I'm 18.
Alright.
So, no visible scars except for one across the, above his left eye, going from about the middle of the top of his head down to his eyebrow. And, he's not really wearing distinct clothes, but the clothes fit him real well. It's almost, he could wear a sack of potatoes and wear it pretty well. It just has
okay, so yeah, you're telling me this is like the most gorgeous figure of a of a muscular tone half orc, like on this coastal shore as the sun's like shining overhead, and he's just got like that perfect amount of like gleaming sweat on him. And this
he kind of glows. He almost glows.
Yeah,
So
this guy is
Brandon,
going.
have you seen I was reincarnated as a slime?
I have not.
I will show you the orcs on there and just let you think that that's probably what
That
he's
was
thinking.
great.
So he's going to like look over at you and say, "Aha! It looks like we finally have a worthy specimen. It looks like this one was a gift from the gods." Everybody's gonna kind of like look at him. It's just like, and then he goes on and says, "But it seems his mind was gifted to a horse instead." And then they all start laughing and say, and he's going to look at you and say, "You, fair Milsarian, what's your name?"
Fruitbark,
me?
and if you use my word, if you talk about me that way again, I'm going to put you through the. I'm going to put you in the ground.
He's going to step off of his stand into like the small group of people, and I'll roll 2d8s of how many people are around him. There are 6 people like around him watching, and he's gonna say, care to put a coin of where your threat is? I am Skyzor, the undefeatable.
I don't think you should be messing with him.
Well, out of character, my character is very dumb. So I think Fruitbark has already said he's going to, so he's going to.
He's going to say,
only if I had a coin.
he's going to say, how about 5 gold? First one to draw blood, our first one to draw blood wins. A couple people are going to pull out some coins and say that 10 gold on 10 gold on the bard. Another one's gonna shake his head and say, I've got 8 silver riding on the half orc. He looks like he's got a good punch in him.
I can deliver you if you want.
Regis is gonna walk up and go like, "I'll be after him."
He's going to nod and say, I welcome all contenders. He's going to extend a arm to Brewbark. And he's does Brewbark take his arm in a shake?
I'll take his arm in a shake.
Alright, he's going to pull you in and say, put on a good show and I'll give you a little bit of the coin. Alright, we have an honor duel. He lets go and he is... Go ahead and roll me initiative. He begins walking around this small circle, kicking up a bit of the moss away from the cobblestone, just, preparing the area. His arms out wide as he says, I'll let you get the first hit in, okay? How about you go ahead and take one right here? He gestures towards his chin.
I transform into a bear.
Alright! You are able to do so as a bonus action. What do you do with your standard action?
So this has been a while since I played a wild shape. Usually I would do the transform and then attack in my wild shape. Is that kosher?
Yes. Circle of the Moon allows you to wild shape as a bonus action, and then you can use your standard action to take the attack action. That is very interesting. There's just one thing I need to look at for that. Okay, cool. All right, and let's go with battle music. All right. So, Brewbark transforms into a bear, and he is going to charge forward at this bard. Go ahead and give me an attack roll at him.
So my character is set up with only weapons. Can I roll a d20 and have the modifier for whether it hits?
Yeah.
I have the brown bear stats pulled up, so it has a multi-attack with bite and claws, but I don't know if the brown bear is too high of a AC.
Yeah, the max AC for a circle of the moon druid is 1, so you can turn into a brown bear.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and give me that roll. That's going to be an 8. And that is going to an 8 plus. The brown bear has a strength of 4. And then you have a proficiency bonus of 2. So making a claw attack to hit is going to be a 4 plus 2 is 6. Yeah, so 14 versus this guy's AC. That is going to miss. He is wearing a chain shirt. And your claw is going to go smack real close to, or it's going to come real close to him, and he's just going to sidestep it right out of the way, and going right past his face. I'm
going to roar at my full guttural loudness that I can be.
Okay. He is going to pull out a rapier. And he is then going to make an attack with it. Well, you know what? He actually might not make a rapier attack at you. He's actually going to make a vicious mockery at you. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw. As he pulls out his rapier, your claw misses. And he's gonna say, about 32 feet to the left, and you probably would have hit me with that one. You are unfazed by his mockery. You can go ahead and make me another attack if you want. It is your turn in combat. Alright.
It gets worse and worse.
You are going to make another swipe at him, and he is going to use his rapier and parry your paw. And he is going to turn his back on you and look to the crowd and say, did I say his brain was gifted to a horse? I'm sorry, I meant his brain was gifted to a pile of fungus. Go ahead and give me another save against his vicious mockery.
That hurt.
No, it's a 21. You accidentally rolled twice. So I'm taking the first roll, the 21, and you're gonna shrug off that comment. You can go ahead and make another attack at him. All right.
And worse.
He continues to dodge around you, and he is then going to pick up his rapier, look at you, and he is going to take a moment and then strike forward, straight, God, aiming straight for your chest, his rapier just missing its mark and going across your fur. He deals 4 points of piercing damage. Yes, Wesley?
Hey, it looks like he was just rolling a straight D20.
Yeah, he's rolling a d20, but he has +6 to the modifier. He and his past rolls have been a 14, 13, and a 12.
I'm sorry.
Oh wait, no. Yeah, I've been actually adding too much to it. The first one was 8 plus 6 was 14. The second one was 12, and the third one was 11. All right. He is going to stab at you with the rapier. His rapier scratching your fur. Go ahead and roll me another attack roll.
How is this possible?
So you're just gonna keep rolling until you get to 1. I'll tell you what. Go ahead and roll me 3 attack rolls, and that's how we'll do the next 3 rounds of combat. Because you have like 30 HP, and it's gonna take Camo
20 in there.
while to bloody you. Okay. All right. So the 10 is going to miss your AC. On that roll, he says he's going to like flare the rapier at you and say, have at thee! And he's going to miss. It seems he's putting on a show. Then you, like, as he's just like wildly flailing with this rapier, like he extends way too far on one of these lunges, and your claw is going to come up, and like you are going to catch him with the backhand of the claw, and like the nails of your hand just scratching and tearing right into him, and a very vicious blow that he was definitely like too far forward for. Go ahead and roll me damage, and for you it's going to be 4d6 plus 4 slashing damage. Alright. You are going to bring up that hit, and you feel your hand collide with him. When the dust settles and like you're done moving, and he's like still standing there, he's going to turn around to the crowd and say, "Ha ha! If that one had been 5 feet to the left, you would have hit me." He seems completely undamaged by it. He takes his rapier, and he turns back around, and he is going to attack you with the rapier, dealing 5 points of damage. What do you want to do?
Part of me, my character is torn. He likes he may want to do an acrobatic check and, he's going to do a performance check and pretend like it's the most ridiculous attack he's ever done, ever happened to him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a performance check for the bear. It crumbles, falls, stumbles 2 times to the side.
Ultra dramatic and is almost daytime Emmy work.
Spins around 3 times, stands on his hind legs, and puts his paw on his forehead, and then falls over on his back. The crowd is going to start cheering as they start exchanging gold coins amongst one another, and a couple are going to toss some coins towards him. He's going to come over towards Brubark and just like whisper down towards his ear and say. He's going to call to the crowd and say, "Don't worry, I am the master of the healing arts. I will use a word to rouse him." He whispers into your ear and says, "Good job, kid." He's going to slip 7 gold coins onto your stomach and say, "Rise and be healed by Lilia's grace."
It's supposed to be a performance, my bad.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, the 22. I'll take the 22 I'll take the 21 as a performance, and Brubark can just start and get up.
Perfect.
The crowd begins clapping. Skaz is going to extend his arms wide towards the crowd and say, "I am Skaz, the undefeatable. Who else would have at me?" He's gonna look.
Turns back into his half orc and puts away the stomach.
I will give the party a free intelligence check. Everybody who is watching.
Just a straight intelligence check.
Yes. It would essentially be the identify magic. Oh no, I'm sorry. If you are trained in Arcana, I'll allow you to add Arcana to it if you want. But it's identifying spells out of the Xanathars.
Oof.
Good Lord.
Dang, Wesley.
Alright. So, those of you who are watching, let's see. 12 for Timbatu, 11 for Regis, 8 for Elizabeth. You can add your Arcana modifier to that if you have it.
It's the same.
Okay, 20 for Wesley, and the intelligence for Melise is 12. Okay, if you made below a 10, you are not certain what is going on with this bard. If you made above a 10, you are definitely aware that he didn't do any verbal or somatic components when he got hit by that. When he definitely got hit by Brubark, who was hit him really, really, really hard. And he was definitely not prepared for that, and he took no damage from it. Wesley, Zeeth Zeeth can put together this is probably some sort of magic, but probably not a magical spell. He likely has immunity to maybe different forms of damage. Which ones, you're not enough certain to tell from Brubark's fighting. But that might be why he's undefeated. Because he definitely got hit, and he definitely didn't cast any magic.
Do I feel like he's cheating?
That would be an insight check, trying to catch him cheating, or a perception check of just watching real close. But from what you can see from your passive, perception and insight, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it was an unfair duel. He even gave Brubark the first hit.
Well, I guess cheating, but I guess rigged would be.
Well, he did say he's undefeatable. It was rigged from the start.
Elizabeth, unamused at this, just shrugs and goes on back heading towards the Coliseum.
Oh, something seemed fishy. You sure you're okay?
That was at Brubark, I believe.
Oh yeah, I'm perfectly fine.
Wait, are you still in bear form right now?
No, I changed back from bear form.
Okay.
Yeah, because I would be.
How did you do that?
I realized when I hit him and it didn't do anything, it was probably best to end it there and make a good show.
I don't know. Maybe I should punch him or two.
Wouldn't do any good.
We'll probably see him again.
If he's here, I'm sure we'll see him again.
That's funny.
Wait, he left?
No, he's not there. He's still, he's just like talking to the members of the crowd.
Okay.
He still apparently has a fight with the halfling. He's still just like riling up the crowd. However, Regus does not have to fight him if he doesn't want to.
No. Hey, Halfling. Why don't we team up against him? We're both half his size. Maybe he'll accept the duel.
What's the point in me fighting him if I can't take him out myself?
Hey, it's worth a shot. Something seems fishy. I want to find out. The only way I can do it is by punching him in the face.
Then wait your turn to punch him in the face, because right now it's my turn to punch him in the face.
Okay.
Just saying, you're gonna waste your gold.
Alright. So, Regus steps into the arena?
Hey, Brandon.
Yes.
This time I'm going to keep a very sharp eye on what the hell happens.
Okay. Yes, Wesley?
I'm gonna bet all 5 copper. The undefeated guy.
Okay. Alright.
Also, Brandon, just in case you weren't aware, Elizabeth did not stick around for this round 2 part of it.
Okay, yes. I'll come back to you. Alright, so, Regus steps into the fighting pit, next. He is like climbing back up onto his, stone, pedestal to start, like, attracting another contender. And he's gonna, like, look down and see Regus and say, like, be a little shocked and say, You stayed after that? Well, fine. I take on all competitors. Everybody's gonna be like, 3 gold on Skaz, 4 gold, 10 gold on Skaz. I'm gonna roll you a percentage die if anybody bets on the halfling. Because whoever does is gonna be a rich man. One person's gonna say, hey, 1 silver coin on the, or 3 silver coins on the halfling. Skaz steps down and says, well, gentleman's courtesy, the honor of any sensorai I would extend to you. You can have the first hit. You can go ahead and roll initiative. He has rolled an 18.
Okay.
You just click on the initiative button in the
Alright.
middle of the screen.
He is, so you can attack him, as he's not paying you attention. He's walking around with one hand behind his back.
Come here.
And he's gonna say, seeing as I'm fighting only a half man, I see it fit as to only use half of my fighting capability. 'Tis the only way to have a fair duel. As he has one hand behind his back, his rapier not drawn. You can go ahead and attack him. Alright, as you come at him, he is going to move, stepping out of the way of your maul. He gestures with his hand and says, alright, come on, swing a little snappier. Go ahead and make me 3 attacks, and I feel like that's when he would start trying.
I want to throw a rock at the back of his head, but hide while doing so.
Okay, give me a stealth check, and then you can give me a stealth check, and then you can make an attack roll, throwing the rock.
Would that be unarmed?
Yes, it's going to be throwing a rock. It will deal one damage plus your strength modifier. Alright, he is going to, after like several rounds of dodging around you, he pulls out his rapier, and he's going to make one attack, and
AC of 16.
oof, he misses. He's going to lunge at you and then pull back and say, well, last time to surrender before this comes down to blood.
Suck.
With the rock, do I add anything to my roll to hit?
1d20 plus your proficiency modifier plus your strength modifier.
What is going on with these rolls?
He has a high AC for your guys' level, though. 15 is really, really high. Let's see. 11. This guy is just going to be dodging and weaving and dodging and weaving, and he comes in with the rapier a second time and says, "Ha!" as he strikes it into your shoulder. He deals 10 points of piercing damage. If you're raging, you take half. It is non-magical.
Okay.
Are you bloodied?
That's below half, right?
Yes.
Not quite.
Okay. Alright, it is your turn.
Well, I'm going to go into a rage.
I will let you have advantage on that roll if you can describe me a way you try to get advantage.
Reckless attack.
Do you get reckless attack at second level?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
You can reckless attack. I'll allow advantage on that roll.
Yeah.
You hit. Go ahead.
So,
go. Yes.
Throwing all care about my safety to the wind, I rush, kind of low to the ground, and then with a kind of, I guess you could describe it as a golf swing.
Okay.
Boom! Right up between his legs.
Right between his legs. Alright. You are going to bring this thing up, and oh my gosh, it is finding its mark right there. You can click the maw to deal damage if you want. And it is like one of those like decisive blows. Where this guy... what I meant was go over to the chat box, and then in the chat window, scroll down to where your maul has rolled, and click the name of your maul, and that's your damage. Alright, and it is one of those, like, decisive blows, where everybody who's watching intently, the people who have been studying to see if he's cheating, are, like, you're going to see he is standing there, the maw hitting on the innards of his legs, just standing
in
there
his
against his
most sensitive spot.
Well, it's going to be just off center of there. It's like hitting against his thigh, and it's definitely going to leave a bruise. And for those who are watching, you are going to see his hand quickly shoots, and he is going to put his hand on the maul and just move it back a little bit, and then turn to the crowd behind him and says, "Ha! He almost hit me!" When the rest of the party knows that definitely did hit. And he's, with his other hand, he is going to bring his rapier to Rygas's throat and say, "Come now, no need to take this to the ground."
But so I didn't actually deal 14 points to him?
Your hit him. It did not look like it had any effect on him. It appears he has immunity to bludgeoning damage too.
He's just gonna scream and attack again, continuing to do another reckless attack. Or am I only able to do that once?
You can reckless attack each round, but it gives him advantage on attacks he makes against you. Alright. He is going to deal another 10 points of damage.
And I take half of that.
Alright. He presses the rapier through your shoulder, drawing, or causing you to become bloodied.
Yeah.
At that, he'll pull it out and say, "Whew! That was a well-fought duel," as he sticks a hand towards you.
My guy is still raging.
Okay.
And he's still kind of pissed because he knows he hit, but the guy didn't go down.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another attack. But at this point, he is going to non-lethally strike you into the ground. Go ahead and roll me that damage if you want to see how effective it is, because you're gonna catch him off guard as you bring your maul into his back. And again, everybody's gonna see this, and at this, the crowd's going to start murmuring a little bit, and he's quickly going to turn around, and he's gonna he's going to hit you with the butt end of the rapier across the head, knocking you unconscious.
Okay.
A couple people are going to start murmuring to themselves as they collect the few coins from the one guy who bet on you. He's going to dust himself off. Wesley.
How much do I get?
As you're watching this, you're not 100% sure what's going on, but I'm not going to make you roll for this. You've heard, because your village is a village where, they hoard people who have been corrupted and who, originally in their lives were great grand monster fighters and hunters, who fought all types of untold horrors. You have heard of monsters in the world who have immunity to, all forms of damage, unless you have, specially, blessed weapons or the proper types of things to hurt them. The more you watch this guy, the more you start to think, could one of these monsters, they told stories about, take the form of a human? What? Anyways, that comes to your mind.
Okay. He's going to be thinking about that as he... I guess, I don't know what the odds were, but...
Can I ask you a question, Wesley?
What's up, man?
Did you record on your sheet that I gave you a silver short sword at the start of the game?
I knew about the one weapon that, from his backstory. Is that
yes,
separate?
It is silvered.
I have the silver blade that...
Yes.
But nothing other than that. It was I think it was just like a...
Yes, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, it was a finesse longsword, but it didn't have the two-handed property. Or the versatile property.
Do you want to try and use that here? Because now would be a great chance to.
He's going to... So it's a halfling, right?
The bard is, he looks human.
I mean, the one that we had,
Oh yeah, the halfling's knocked out.
Bears and halflings and... That's all well and good, but... Try me once more. Try once more, why don't you? See if you can beat a blind beggar.
he is gonna smile and say, alright, for this one, I'll use no hands. He sheaths his rapier. And he's going to kindly pick up the halfling and move him to the stone dais and put him down right there.
I'll take care of him.
He puts his hands behind his back and it's like, alright. Sightless one. Dark skin, where you from? A Lilna guy?
Oh, roundabouts. Nothing too interesting.
Alright.
He's gonna kind of tap around his feet. He's like, let's see, tap his leg. Right here, set the butt of his stick in the middle of his chest. Right about there. And he's going to very swiftly draw the silver blade from that he had hidden in the stick and lay into his chest with it.
Okay, roll me an attack roll. I'll give you advantage on it because he's surprised.
Hey, I might.
You know what? No, before.
Doesn't matter.
That is a 25. I'm not going to give you advantage on it. I was going to say give me a performance check to see if he buys the act, but it's not going to matter. Like, as he's, like, sizing you up, you pull out this sword and straight, like, the long sword straight at him. Go ahead and roll me damage. Watch this be tuned that one. 16 points of damage. Like, okay, you are going to cut across, skewering him from his chest to his from his chest to his face, and he's going to have to make a Constitution saving throw.
My headcanon is that he did the Zoro Z on his chest. Just have a Z for Zenith.
Yeah, blood flying in the sky as or in the sunlit sky, and it's going to be like at this moment there's just horror on his face, and everybody is like looking at this moment, and then he's gonna like put his hand to his face and then at you, and then say, the silver. You see his face shift for a second as like you see a snout start growing and fangs start bearing as he keeps it under control, and he remains in like this humanoid form, and he's going to say, well, I'm bloodied. He raises his hand in defeat, and who would have took a bet on you? I'll roll you a percentage die.
I'm a blind beggar, my dude. With a stick.
One guy has like raked in like 35 gold coins, and he's going to like walk over to his pouch of coins that he's been collecting since he's been here, and he's gonna pull out 5 and hand them to you. The man who won is gonna say, "Oh, well done, son!" And he's gonna just push over a stack of the coins towards you. You are going to make 12 coins from him and 5 from the man you beat for a total of 17.
I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams.
The man is going to hold his hand over his face and say, "Show's over, folks! Show's over, folks! Show's over." He's gonna point at Zeeth and say, "That's cheating. I'll be keeping my eye out for you next time."
I'll be watching. He's gonna touch those blindfolds. Like, I'll be watching for you too, buddy. Have a good one. And he'll give him like a bright smile and start hobbling off to collect his winnings. It's like, I can afford food.
Alright. The rest...
Also,
Go ahead.
real quick, he had bet 5 copper earlier on, I guess, this guy.
Oh, yeah. Your 5 copper would have been turned into 7 copper. Because, like, you know, most people were betting with, you know, in favor of Skaz the undefeatable. Skaz the once defeated. Which, significantly less cool name.
Yeah.
Skaz the now defeated.
Skaz the mostly doesn't lose. Alright, I gotta roll a d4 for when your halfling is waking up. 4 hours.
And during the time that I'm taking care of him, I'm going to be rummaging through his pockets to see if he has any alcohol on him.
Yeah, he does not, probably. What are you doing over there? I'm being a medic. However, I will allow the party to use an action to try and rouse him, if either of them, if anybody wants to. Otherwise, go ahead.
I'll try.
Did I cast Cure Wounds on him?
Yes, you can. Magical healing will wake him up instantly. Go ahead and roll the 1d8. The crowd.
Guys.
Go ahead.
I was like, guys, I'm a medic. Deception of 4.
Yeah, nobody's believing that as your hands just like, as you're clearly looking through his book bag of just like, I'm a medic. It was like, shouldn't shift into the patient. Alright, so, Regus is going to come back up. You have 6 HP as you become conscious. You see the party around you. There's a bit of blood on the cobblestone before from where you were fighting. The man is packing up his stuff and leaving. The rest of the crowd's dispersed. The blind, dark-skinned beggar is kneeling over you.
There now.
I was just trying to heal you. Don't mind me.
Come on your feet.
He stands back up, kind of brushes himself off, and just kind of looks mad, like, you know, disappointed that he lost, you know, angry with himself.
Next time, maybe you should fight someone your own size.
Wait, that one was rigged. Well, this will be the first time I afford a decent meal. How about I treat the rest of you?
You cut out on the last word. Treat the rest of you to something hot? Okay.
How about I treat the rest of you fine folks to a decent meal?
Meal? I can have some alcohol instead.
That'll be fine.
He just
go ahead.
He just kind of nods and is following suit.
Man.
He's kind of stewing to himself because he's upset.
1 second.
I go towards an alleyway and just barf.
1 second, I have some very important business I need to attend to. Yes, I have to deposit these files here. Alright, so the arena would have alcoves under it, where different vendors would be like preparing food, and you know there's like tables and areas set up of where you can eat it at. But before you do and you go over there, or before you go to the arena and you know order food, let's jump over to XV.
Yes, I exist.
Because we are session 1 and we've already split the party. 3 bandits jump you in an alley and stab you to death. Alright, so let's go. Kidding.
Outstanding.
Cool. Reroll my character.
Okay, so you're heading towards the arena. There, you can obviously go into the stands if you want as a spectator, or you can go into the lower ramps into the fighters' quarters and or the aspirants' quarters. That's what it would be called. And try and talk to an organizer to join.
That second thing is what I was trying to do.
Okay. Alright, heading down below this arena, you are going to walk, you're going to walk in, and I feel like there actually wouldn't be a huge amount of security here. There are going to be a couple of high elves down here, and they are accompanied by several servants, and you see them as you're like walking through here. They're each talking with individual fighters, people that they're likely sponsoring to fight in this arena, and you might see another one talking to a whole group. Down here, the area is lit by torchlight. Before you finally see the makings of a room, the door is open. Seems to be a woman, a elven woman, with several pouches, or rather large bags, on her desk, as she is reading over some documents and nodding as another person in the room's like pointing down to them. She looks up at you as you enter her office, and she is going to say, "Hail, have you come to sponsor an aspirant?"
I shake my head and then say, "I want to fight." Or, excuse me, we should probably say, "I'm here to fight."
She's going to rub her chin, looking at you, and size you up and say, "You use magic?"
I'll nod my head.
She's going to step up and start walking around you and say, "Have you ever been in a spell duel before?"
Drug. Kind of.
Have you ever fought in an official arena that wasn't a fighting pit?
Shake my head.
These, what's been come to be known as the Path of Glory, is a series of prestigious martial traditions that have been upheld and funded by the Frero family, or by the Frero Circle. That said, as such, we honor their legacy. If you want to compete, you will have to pay the entry fee, just like anyone else. Most aspirants need a wealthy sponsor in order for them to be able to get into the arena. I suggest you find one. That is, unless you've come with 1,000 gold yourself.
I look at her quizzically, and then cock my head to the side and go, "Where do you find those?"
She's going to roll a history check and think and say, I believe there was a mercenary came through a few days ago. A man by the name of Grimstone. Heartringer? Yes, he was looking to sponsor a contestant. However, his bargain was pretty steep. Here, most contenders have been straying away from him.
The Heartbringer?
Heartringer.
Ringer.
At this point, would Melise have caught up to XV?
Yeah, did Melise beeline towards here?
Well, I had left shortly after her.
Yeah. If your same goal was to fight in the arena, like just following your way through, you'd stumble into this office too, just being a few moments behind XV as she's talking to this woman. And let's get Melise on screen. Alright. She's going to say if you want to find him, I imagine he'd be hanging out someplace to find the broken desperate. He's an old elf. Oh, he's an old Dorai. If you come back with the money, then you're welcome to fight.
Okay. I turn back to see Molly's walk in, and then turn back to her and go, where does the normal... I wouldn't know how to phrase this. Where's the best place to meet him?
She's gonna say, I imagine he'd be somewhere around the arena today before the fight started. Likely trying to find a group broke and desperate enough to take up his offer. I had to go see if he's trying to talk to some sorry saps at a meat on a stick stand, because I can't think of a name of what they would call it.
Kebab stand?
Yes, there we go. Words. You guys are gonna learn this with me dungeon mastering. I am like a D20. There are nights when I have like the most amazing, like, just moments of exposition and description, and there's other times where I'm just like, what's that metal thing that goes down a hill? You mean a sled? Yes, that thing.
Those can be plastic too. I get confused too.
But yes, kebabs.
Okay. Elizabeth nods her head and then turns to walk out.
Alright. Does Melise want to say anything?
Did I hear everything that's been said about this gentleman that is looking for desperate people?
Yeah, you'd come in on the latter part of a sponsor who has a pretty steep offer, but nonetheless willing to sponsor, and then all of the latter part of the conversation.
I presume you heard the name Grimstone Heartringer.
If I've heard the information, I would follow after and go find this guy, because the sooner I can fight, the sooner I can reach my...
Alright. Okay, so, the rest of the party. You're gonna go to one of these alcoves under an arch in front of the arena, the market square, people, walking by, and every direction, flags and banners waving on the sea breeze flowing through town. People are gathering as it seems the arena contestants and aspirants are about to start their exhibition matches soon. as you step over here, you're I'm assuming Wesley that Zeeth buys a kebab and ale for everyone.
Yeah, sure. I guess it would be a shoot, what was it? It was like 2 silver pieces for like a huge meal or something like that.
Yeah,
something along those lines.
If you want to pay 3 gold, that's going to cover. Yeah, if you pay 3 gold, that's going to cover all of the food. That's going to cover all of the food and all of the drinks. And you guys can, yeah, you guys can grab a table.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
It's 14 gold. And I'm gonna order extra one for myself because I'm starving.
Okay.
I make sure I get at least 3 more rounds of alcohol just for me.
All right. You guys sit down. You guys sit down to start eating, and rocks fall on your table, and everyone is dead. I'm kidding.
Except for Elizabeth and
session 1, last session.
I use Nimble Escape to win.
No, I'm kidding. Everybody's going to sit down at this stone table out here, and start eating. Does anyone want to say anything to anybody or to each other?
My mouth is full.
That's a symbol of a good meal. Oh, also, what you guys got? It is a roasted bird with rice smashed and balled around it and dried a little bit. So as you bite into the chunks of meat, you get the nice little crunch of the bird and a little bit of apricots and pecan or ground apricots and pecans or pecans on it, and it's just got this really pleasant nutty grain wheat taste to it, and
Nice.
yeah, it's got a real toothy maw feel. But no.
Gotcha.
Anyways, you guys are able to sit down and start eating. As you do, though, a few moments later, you are going to notice the woman and that giant man that you were on the boat with come walking up and walking through these different alcoves, just like kind of talking and looking for people before they finally make their way back towards you guys.
I guess I'm just here.
I'm just going to look around at the table and just go in her mind. Go. None of these look like the guy I was just told about, and attempt to turn and continue on walking.
Hey, get over here.
She stops and turns back.
Yeah, you, get over here. Why'd you give me that look? I know you. You give me a funny look. What do you want?
She stares blankly at everybody at the table. And just
Don't look at everyone else, look at me! What do you want?
Who are you talking to?
The one that was walking away.
Oh, that's a character.
Yeah.
Who are you yelling at over there?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
See, for the sake of description for everybody, he has a blindfold around his eyes.
Yeah, I've been tip-tapping with my cane as I move around.
Someone just give me a funny look as they walk by. No, don't worry.
Zeeth is blind and Elizabeth is essentially mute.
Together, you guys have one party member.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but there's a movie where blind guy and a deaf guy have to work together to clear their names of a crime or something like that.
But Elizabeth just stares down at Tombutu and just like shrugs again.
Why? Oh, if you do that again, I'll punch you in the face.
If you do that again,
We're
I'll
looking
take
for
your chicken.
Oh, by the way, this is drunk me talking.
A drunk, a mute, and a blind party member walk into a festival.
Into a bar.
Alright.
Don't forget
That's
someone
all
who
everyone
doesn't know
does.
who he is, and we've got a firecracker Rita to lump punch everything. This would be interesting.
Real quick for me, everybody give me your passive perceptions real quick.
It's gonna be tricky.
12.
12? Okay, let me record those so I have them easily for me. I just need to know what level of description I need to give out normally. I forgot to collect this earlier. 13, 12, 12, 12, and Zyth is at a 13. Cool.
Zeeth.
Oh, Zeeth is at a 13, and 12 for Torment. Okay, or Tambutu. Cool. For those who are new to playing with me, the way I give out descriptions, I give descriptions based on your character's passive perception, unless you inform me otherwise. So I describe, what your character can see, even though there might be like a guy behind you raising a blade and getting ready to stab it through you. If he beats your passive perception, I'm not gonna describe it like, oh, you see a shadow, unless you have 23 passive perception, then I would. But anyways,
how much time has passed since we've been in the bar?
It's a outdoor food stand, like a food truck almost. And it's only been all of this food was pre-prepared, so you guys have only been here for about 15 minutes or so.
Okay, so I've gone through one full beer then. At least minimum. So Elizabeth is Wesley's character, right?
No.
No, Elizabeth is Jordan's character. I even have Elizabeth underneath my name. Hold funny.
Oh yeah. Okay. So who's the one that was walking by that I yelled at?
Elizabeth.
Oh, okay. Was Elizabeth?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, new characters and all that. Trying to use well.
Yeah.
New character, who dis?
So you ended up just staring at me, right?
Yeah.
No, he said Elizabeth said she was looking for someone.
Well, I said
I did not say that.
Oh, Melise said that. I'm sorry, Melise said that. Yeah.
Melise said that.
I like you. You don't talk much. Want to join us?
Elizabeth looks to Melise because we had decided to work together on the boat on our way over here. So, spoiler like this.
Just one drink. It's all I'll take.
kind of look at her and shrug. One drink can't hurt. We'll find this guy eventually. Or hell. Yes.
Zeeth will kind of reach into his side pouch and flick to a gold piece to each one of them.
Okay, so everybody is going to notice there is a man sitting at a table a little distance away from you in the shadow of this arch. And as XV goes to sit down, Our Elizabeth goes to sit down. He is going to go "Ah!" and just like in frustration, almost like you're betting on something, and then it doesn't go in your favor, and just like come on, as his head goes up and groans. He's going to signal for one of the serving staff of this food merchant, and they're gonna come moving over to him. He's too far away for you guys to hear like anything he's saying other than that audible chant, but
Elizabeth turns to take notice of where the voice came from. So if you can describe what he looks like.
Yeah. He looks like a elf that's or he looks like a Dorai. He's obviously wearing his hair back in a ponytail. You see his ears. You also see his he looks old for a Dorai. He's definitely has some battle scars on him. And
So
he's fully armored and what appears to be half plate. Sitting at a table, he's got a large bag on it too. Looks to be a coin sack.
So before taking a seat with the rest of the party, Elizabeth is going to walk over to this raging behemoth of a man, apparently unfazed, and just looks at him and go, "Grimstone?"
He's gonna look up at you and say, I was really hoping they would kill you, or at least you'd get into some sort of scuffle. Yeah, it's me, Grimstone Heartringer.
Elizabeth just looks at him a little, like probably more seconds longer than normal, and then goes, "I want to fight."
He's gonna look up at you and smile and say, I didn't think you had it in you, lass. Alright then. He's going to stand up, and he is going to get uncomfortably close to you. He's going to just start staring into your eyes, moving closer and closer to the point where his forehead is pressed against yours. Does Elizabeth do anything?
And unfazed, just stares back.
He's going to smile and say, Tell me, are you afraid of death?
She just shrugs.
He's gonna chuckle a little bit and say, I fear it every day of my life. But see, you don't know what it's like to be ageless, to be Dorai. We live forever. The moment the sword swings wrong, that's it for me.
She stares back again, still just silently listening.
I'm done with my life of sword swinging and wading off into battles. I haven't done so for about 300 years. I just keep this on me. He pats the sword in case anybody comes wrong. You know you have to defend yourself.
Okay, you lovers, go get a room if you're going to do something.
He's going to
He might be your meal ticket.
He's going to say, but I still fear death every single day.
Elizabeth's gonna look into his eyes I will roll this as an insight, but I'm pretty sure this man is telling the truth. But I'll roll it as insight anyways. Yeah, she believes him.
Yeah. And he's gonna go on and say, so you want to fight? You're interested in it, eh? Eh, you are? He steps back.
Elizabeth just nods her head and just goes, mm-hmm.
He's going to extend his hands and say, that's great. That's great. Well, I'll be happy to sponsor you if you need the 1,000 gold. However, I do have a very peculiar request.
She continues staring.
He's I'm gonna start to bite his nail for a moment, and then extend his hand towards you and say, you see, I know they may call us eternal, but no things here in Ilderon are ever eternal. So, if that moment comes for me, I want to be prepared for it. I want to see what acceptance looks like so that I too may accept the inevitable. Should you lose in the arena, Real Fear does not have customs of fighting to the death here. Not in these ports. But should you lose, I would like to kill you with my own hands and see your final few moments and the fear or the acceptance that you feel in them.
Elizabeth looks at him a little bit longer and then extends her hand and says, deal.
He is going to shake it ecstatically and say, that's good, lass, that's good. They're having guild battles today, though. Don't say you have about a half-dozen friends who are willing to join you.
Elizabeth just turns and then eyes fall on the table. I just offered her a seat.
He is going to wave at the party enthusiastically and begin walking over. He's going to say, well, it seems I'll be sponsoring your guild if you have a name now. Well, it doesn't even matter. You might be dead by sunrise. Who cares? I'm a Grimstone Hot Ringer. Who are the lot of you? He comes over excitedly.
I would stand up, put out my hand. Louise and Mom.
Alright, he shakes it.
At this point, I'm finishing my third beer, and so I stand up on the table because I'm short, so I have to get face to face with them. It's like,
I'm Tumbutu. And if you want to fight me, I'll gladly take you on.
He's gonna laugh and say, no, my days of fighting are over. This sword's only for defending.
You never know. I can unsheath it for you.
You said Timbuktu's doing a handstand?
no.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I thought he was like just upside down on this table, like because he would definitely shake your foot if you were.
I approach him and extend my arm and let him know that I call myself Rhubarb, but I'm unsure of my past. Have you ever seen me before?
He's gonna look you real good in the eyes and say, "Hey, you look like an orc that tried to get over on me in Beechwood Retreat." Nah, probably just coincidence. He shakes your hand ecstatically and says, "Glad to sponsor you, Brewbark. All right, who else do we have here?"
So, I have a very important question. Did any of us hear the whole about, killed if we lose?
I'll allow you a retroactive perception check to make out what they were saying. You could see Elizabeth and this guy having a conversation, but they were a good 35, 40 feet away from you talking to each other.
Seeing as I rely on hearing, perception on that, or advantage on that?
No, you do not have keen senses. Wait, does your blind fighting style give you advantage on that check?
Oh no, it just says something I can't see.
I gave you a homebrewed addition to that feat.
It didn't have anything to do with skill checks, so.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, it would just be a regular check. All right. Yeah, Brewbark's definitely gonna have heard that conversation.
I hop up on the table and walk across over to him, staring him dead straight in the eye. I'm Regis.
Alright, he's going to shake your hand enthusiastically too. And say, "Yeah, the first group to accept my offer. That's terrific of you to do so, and I'm so enthused for your coming victories or your defeat."
I guess Zeeth, unaware of his impending, is going to kind of just blindly reach his hand out. He's like, he's just going to be waving his hand out, where is he at? Shake my hand, damn it.
He's going to, he's going to find your hand and eventually shake, and it's going to say, "All right. And if you win in the arena, I'll give you 10% of the winnings that you can divide amongst yourselves as you please."
10% of 0 is 0. Zeeth is saying, "I got so lucky today. So much gold. I can afford food and drink."
Mm-hmm.
This is the best day ever. Not at this offer.
Say that again, Jordan.
Elizabeth just nods at this offer.
All right.
Money is not her end goal, so bargaining seems pointless.
All right, and let's end there for the night. Is everybody comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm good.
I bet you guys didn't expect your dungeon master to throw a lycanthrope at you in your first session.
To say I expected it wouldn't quite be right. Was I surprised? Not really.
See, you have to expect the unexpected, in my opinion.
The group last night, their first quest that they were getting, the guy's like, "All right, it looks like you guys have to assassinate 4 storm giants." They're just like, "Wait, what?"
And a Hydra.
Yeah, and they're like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "Oh, wait, that's the wrong mission." All right. Well, that said, you guys were not equipped without the means to hurt the lycanthrope, but he would have gladly kept taking all of your money. Anyways,
that's for those that performed with them.
Yeah. And Brewbark put on an excellent show. Okay, so let's do experience for tonight. I'm going to do a combination of experience and milestones. So I'm going to have you guys keep up with experience, but if we ever reach a point where I feel like you guys should level up, I'm going to just say everybody moves to the next level.
Cool.
So for tonight, I think I'm just going to give you guys story experience. I'm not going to give you combat experience for the lycanthrope. Well, I mean, he was just a level 2 character with the lycanthrope template added to him, so...
I knocked him out in one hit, though.
Alright.
Dancing bear.
Well, I am going to give you guys, storyline experience, too, for stuff.
And I was RPing beautifully.
Let us. You were wonderful and did a lot to bring the party together, and I love that. And it counteracts you showing up late tonight, so you come out at a flat 0. You got 100 bonus points, and you also got minus 100. So
I'll accept that.
yeah, no, but I'm glad you showed up tonight. I really am. Because there's a moment where I was just like, oh god, how am I gonna make these people work with each other? They might not. And then Timbuktu was just like, hey you, get over here, I'm drunk. Hang out with us, please.
Honestly speaking, like Elizabeth is that kind of character who would just like aloofly just ignore everybody unless spoken to. So we needed a character to bring her in in order for her to not just freaking buzz her off on her own.
All right,
Regis just likes to hit things. He doesn't care, what in general. So he was just kind of going along with the flow.
Mine and your character will have a lot of fun.
Alright, yeah. I'm going to give everybody, tonight you gain entrance into the arena. You bonded as a party. Well, a little bit. Some of you did. Some of you haven't yet. But that's why it's a campaign. There is so much room for character growth. Tonight 75 combat experience, 200 story experience. So 275 in total.
Okay. What's the starting XP for level 2 though?
Level 3. I'm sorry, level 2 is 300, so you are at 575. Okay, so 2 more things I'm going to do. Your guys' next session is going to be on the 26th of Sunday. We are going to meet 3 hours earlier on that day. So I will post the time, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be... we're going to meet up at... it's actually going to be 3.5 hours earlier. We're going to meet up at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we are going to play at 3:30. And then the other thing, remember I told you guys about the optional inspiration I was doing? I'm going to give inspiration tonight to Wesley and inspiration tonight to Eric, I think, for Brew Bark. Yeah, I think those were both really great moments. And so, you guys know I'm doing the optional inspiration. Do you want regular inspiration, or do you want to roll on the table?
I'll roll on the table. Yeah.
Alright, the first one is for Eric, the second one is for Wesley. Alright, so Eric, when you use your inspiration, the next time you use it, your next D20 roll will be a guaranteed crit. Wesley, you get normal inspiration.
Oh.
Alright, so that is where we will end for tonight, and I look forward to playing with you guys in the future where we introduce Jeff's character next week.